that's going to emerge to the surface, and am I really willing to acknowledge that, bring it into light, and hate it, and not be indifferent to it, not be oblivious to it, but actually acknowledge it. So that's what we're looking for. So we're not looking for perfection, but we're looking for people who want to be honest in their life with themselves. So it's
because of the lack of time, quickly, we just want to go over the last section here. That's in your booklets on page 12. It says these are some of the responsibilities and accountability of a leader. One of the biggest complaints or not complaints, just needs that leaders have themselves is, I'm giving a lot of time, or I'm pouring out a lot of my life into other people, but I'm not getting ministered to myself. And I know in the dynamic when you're leading and when you're ministering to people, that blesses you even. And actually that causes a lot of us to grow. But then there's just this sense of community you have with people that you're kind of leading or facilitating over. And then there's a different type of fellowship that you have among leaders or among peers. And so as you can see here, these are some of the responsibilities and accountabilities that we would ask. And as Desi said, we're not going to ask you guys to sign off today. We'll give you a couple more weeks, but to think these through and say, not only through a lot of the other stuff that we walk through, but here are some tangible responsibilities that we would ask here of all our facilitators. And and so if you can see, you guys are all here, so you met the first criteria. Attendance. That's really big. That's really big. We wanted to show the seriousness or the level of time that was put in, and then time also here and to discuss and to just really soak in all this information about the focal point groups. The idea is for those of membership, we're not saying right away run in and say, I'm going to join and become a member of Pacific Point, but our logic of thinking and even talking with John is, if these people have a desire to facilitate and spend time and grow in relationship with people of Pacific Point, membership should come with that. And there should be at least an intent if you're not a current member, like, I want to become a leader, and hey, I can call Pacific Point my church. I can join on their mission, their vision, and embody their values. All that has to do with the membership. For those who actually came to one of the membership class earlier this year in February, we should have one following sometime in October. The date is a little tentative because of the close proximity of our launching of the Focal Point group. And number 3 is really big too. And I think, Vicki, you said, or Judith, I don't know, but this idea of just connecting with people, there's a time that we have in the group. And like I said, I know time is so valuable. I struggle with time. I'm greedy. Money, okay, time is money, right? I'm very greedy, but there should be this desire, because as you're leading and ministering and pastoring over your group, there should be a desire to, outside of the group, even to meet one-on-one with some of them and to just perhaps draw them in closer to that. The group may be a little intimidating, and so as they're meeting with you one-on-one, they're growing comfortable with you and they're trusting you, that you're able to model them that relationship, that they'll be able to start doing that within the group. And so there is this desire that we're asking you guys to personally connect with people outside of the regular focal point group. And I know a lot of us are really good at that too, because John continually encourages us to do that outside of this. This is just within our system here. And for one, like these training sessions here, we ask within the time block, and even outside, we're still deciding about that depending on your willingness as facilitators for those who sign on, having a monthly, first Sunday of the month meeting for our leaders, so that once again you come together, you can share your hurts, you can share your blessings, you can share ideas, and once again to have this connection and accountability among our leaders, among our peers even. And to have that as a requirement, and once again, that's something that will have to be scheduled into all our busy schedules. But right now, and especially with John, with the 8-week blocks that we'll explain more in detail in our third section, but we're just planning within those 8-week blocks to pretty much have 2 meetings, since that's about 2 months, and then the leaders not meet outside of that. But we wanted, Dustin and I talked about it, and we wanted to open up to you guys in the future, for those that become leaders, to decide among yourselves that, even when our focal point groups are not meeting, to still have that type of connection among our facilitators. Because some facilitators on a next rotation, they may say, I'm going to take a break, but then they don't want to be completely out of the loop. And some groups may disband, other groups may form. And so we have a lot of flexibility here. For that too, we want to leave with our leaders to decide whether if you're only going to meet during the 8-week blocks or if you guys are going to continue that out year round. This once a month meeting, first Sunday of the month, pretty much after church, and just to spend that time. And it doesn't have to be here. It could be in a Taco Bell or something, just to spend that time of fellowship even there. And of course, the last one is just study, review, preparation of the curriculum. Whether that's one that, outside of that initial all-focusing sermon, the sermon curriculum that will be provided, if you guys also decide in another 8-week block to go into your own material, we just ask, of course, to study it, prepare it, and always keep in mind the values. Even in these other materials or books that you may want to bring into your focal point groups as you lead them, to keep those values in mind, because like I said, we don't want them just to look good on paper or on a board or on our website, but we really want to embody these, and we feel that if we can embody these, if we can create a body of believers to embody these, to create a church, a movement, a city, I mean, that's the power of how the gospel transforms not only lives but society and impacts the world as it has to this day. So we're a little short on time. We just want to open this last minute with Dusty, and I guess he wants to share something.
Well,
and any questions too.
Real quick, just a couple things. We recognize that once again, like a lot of you guys have led Bible studies like that, much more advanced in years of experience than Paul and I are. So
put together.
So really, what we're looking for is that's all right. What we're looking for is we need a couple things. We need, and you don't have to make a decision right now, but we need someone who will be a coach, which means that you will oversee focal point facilitators. Like you'll be a person in life that speaks in life, encourages them, prays for them, calls them once a week, and you don't have to lead a focal point group to do that. In fact, we encourage you not to, just so you can actually spend that quality time investing in your life. So please think about that. A man and a woman, that'd be huge. Because really what we want to do is, Paul and I want to take ourselves out of that picture and put someone who's just more mature and seasoned to speak into someone's life. I think that'd be good. And then also with regard to feedback, we'd love to hear any questions or comments that you guys might have. Next one, I just want to let you know there's not going to be much talking. It's going to be a lot more discussion oriented. We just know that you guys might read this because we're really on top of things over here. So next time, we're really looking forward to having a conversation and a little bit of teaching, but more conversation about what's written here. But
so you want us to have read this by next time?
Just a second.
Section. Yeah, section.
You don't read ahead?
You can. If you want to read the whole thing, Bob.
Yeah, you can if you want. We just know that it's kind of intimidating.
Yeah, you got Bob.
So read section 2.
Yeah, we'll have section 2 done by next week. That'd be awesome.
Another thought is, is your thought that like Michelle and I would lead as a couple if we were going to be a leader, or if I wanted to lead without her, or she wanted to lead without me?
Yeah.
Any thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think if you want to have a group that's going to be and this is up to you guys. You can do gender specific or co-gender. It's totally up to you guys. We've got a lot of conversation about that. It's changed a lot.
Yeah, good feedback. We've got a lot of feedback.
Yeah, so that's informed, obviously, the decision we made about that. So if you want to do co-gender, we would definitely encourage married couples to lead together. Only because as co-leaders, you're going to be spending a lot of time with your co-leader, and we're not huge fans of married man spending a lot of time with another married woman. Right? We're trying to encourage married couples to spend time with each other, not other married couples. So we definitely encourage that. But if you wanted to lead like a men's group, or so if you want to lead a women's group, then we would encourage, obviously, just you, not Michelle, and then find though another guy leader to lead alongside.